Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tippecanoe County in West Lafayette, Indiana. We are a welcoming congregation, offering acceptance and encouragement to one another. We are strengthened by being together, by working toward our common vision, and by teachings from around the globe. You are welcome here. My name is Diana Poindexter. I am a member of the Worship Committee. I am quoting now from the book, Growing a Beloved Community. We are happy that you are with us. We gladly share with you everything that strengthens this congregation. And we will stand with you against anything that will injure or weaken it. We believe that membership in our beloved community will enrich and enlarge your life as well as ours. We want your gifts, and we offer you our gifts. Know well that in our membership, you are truly accepted to come as you are and to grow who you wish to be. You are welcome here. I have one announcement, a save the date for March 21st through the 27th. The UUCTC virtual auction, till we meet again. This year's annual UUCTC auction will look different, but it'll be just as much fun as ever. The virtual auction will begin March 21st and will conclude with a fabulous Zoom party March 27th from 7 to 8 p.m. I hope to see all of us there.
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tippecanoe County. I would like to add my welcome to Diana's. I'm so glad that you are here. I am the Reverend Rosemary Morrison, and I am the interim minister here, and it is my pleasure to have been here for the last 2.5 years. This month, we will be exploring the theme of wisdom. And this morning, the topic is feminine wisdom. It's in all of us. Feminine wisdom is not about being female, far from it. It is about what lives within us, our intuition, our wise one inside of all of us. So I hope you find something nurturing and interesting. I hope you learn something, and I hope that your heart is opened to the magic of feminine wisdom. Now, I'd like to say that it doesn't matter who you are welcome here. It doesn't matter whom you love, you are welcome here. It doesn't matter what your gender expression is, you are welcome here. You are loved, you are celebrated, and you are cherished. So I invite you into this time of worship. I invite you to set aside distractions around you. I invite you to bring your whole self. All of you is wanted. All of you is needed, because we can't be who we are together without you. So come, let us worship together in this time and in this place, wherever you are, and whenever this is that you are viewing this. Come, let us worship together.
We light our chalice this morning with these words from Hildegard von Bingen, adapted by Reverend Rosemary. Wisdom is an unquenchable fire, bestowing all excellence, sparking all worth, awakening all goodness. It ignites speech and inflames humankind. Yet in this radiance is a restorative stillness. It is the stillness that is in all and spreads to all living things. It quenches our fervent longings and brings us into the light of its warmth. Please join together in our covenant, which is in the chat window. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirits draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the body, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the body, gathered here in the struggles and the body, gathered here in the struggle of the heart, gathered here in the mystery of the heart, gathered here in the mysteries of the body, gathered here in the struggles and the body, gathered here in the struggle of the heart, Spirit, draw near.
Hello, church family. I hope you're well. Today we're going to read a book that I found quite by accident, which is the best way to find a book. And it's talking about a number of fantastic women. It also rhymes a little bit, so watch for that, I guess, or be prepared for me to stumble as I read. It's always great to hear what somebody's thoughts and interpretations are about women. So, today, the book is Wonder Women. It's written by Madison Parr, and it's illustrated by Sanja Baskovic. I hope you like it, and I hope you have a great week. Wonder Women by Madison Parr, illustrated by Sanja Baskovic. With little fear and hearts as big as ever, it seemed as if we could dream forever. Our feet and imagination running wild, anything felt possible as a child. We had mud on our pants and grass in our hair. We could find inspiration anywhere. The world was our playground, and our job was to dream, to sing and laugh, and everything in between. Playing outside and running about, we had dreams bright like fire we thought would never burn out. However, as playtime got shorter and the years grew longer, our dreams didn't seem as important to conquer. As we grew older and our minds and bodies changed, we began to ask ourselves some things. I wonder if I'm pretty. I wonder if I'm enough. I wonder what people would think. Should I maybe be more tough? We began to doubt, and we began to second guess. We started to follow our hearts a little less. Growing up can be scary, and growing up can be tough, but it's important to know that you are enough. You are deserving of love, happiness, and of confidence throughout. To know that you are beautiful, both inside and out. The following women were once young like you, but they not only listened to their hearts, they also followed through. I raise up my voice, not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. Malala Yousafzai. There is beauty in your brains. Do not be ashamed, for all your accomplishments and the strength you have gained. If you have a dream, then that's a good start. But to follow your dream is what sets you apart. When you find your voice, be sure to stand behind it, just like Malala Yousafzai fighting for the right to education and how she refused to quit. She stood her ground and demanded rights, a global advocate for women's rights, a war she was willing to fight. Some wish to volunteer to help children and women all throughout, to help the poor and give them what they are without. She spoke before Congress and won global awards. She dedicated her life to those affected by the war. Actress, model, and humanitarian with Stout, Audrey Hepburn was known for her heart and the love that she gave out. For beautiful eyes, for the good in others, for beautiful lips, only speak words of kindness, and for poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone. Audrey Hepburn. No wish is too big and no hope is too high. You must believe in yourself and always give it your best try. Some wish to travel and fly across the sky, like Amelia Earhart and her dream to fly high. The first woman to fly from coast to coast, flying is what she loved the most. Everyone has oceans to fly, if they have the heart to do it. Is it reckless? Maybe. But what do dreams know of boundaries? Amelia Earhart. There are those that help people, but also animals too. For Jane Goodall, it was monkeys she chose to rescue. Chimpanzees she aimed to help, and who she studied in the wild. She helped the environment, just as she dreamed as a child. Her love for wildlife, the planet, and all living things led her to follow her voice and be the change. You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Jane Goodall. One's journey may be long and perhaps not always easy, but you must find your courage. Don't be afraid to dig deeply. While our dreams are all different and unique to us all, it's our will behind the want, our heart's true call. It's a long way to the top, but the view is worth the way, thought the first woman to climb Mount Everest, Junko Tabei. Technique and ability alone do not get you to the top. It is the willpower that is most important. This willpower you cannot buy with money or be given by others. It must rise from your heart. Junko Tabei. Each time a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for all women. Maya Angelou. There are many ways you can touch the world. While some use their words and others use their voice, you can impact the world. It's all your choice. Through messages of humanity and love, she inspired the world with words she wrote. A poet, a singer, and civil rights activist too, she fought for humanity. She was Maya Angelou. Don't play with cars, some girls are told. They are just for boys. Don't be so bold. It's okay to be different from your sisters and brothers. Follow your heart and don't listen to others. Journalist, photographer, and race car driver too. Her name was Denise McCluggage, and racing was what she chose to pursue. It's okay to be different, and it's okay to be bold. Being your true self is the greatest story that can be told. Behind every woman is a young girl with a dream, a voice to be heard, and a presence to be seen. You owe it to yourself to find your fire, to figure out your passions and your heart's desire. Your path is purpose, and it's your journey too. If you were looking for courage, it lies within you. Women are mothers, doctors, and astronauts too. Women can be whatever they wish to pursue. Women are whoever and whatever they wish to be, whether it's traveling the world or getting their master's degree. To dream is not enough. You must also know it too, that women can do anything that they set their minds to. You see, there is much more beauty than you think you know. Beauty comes from within. It's an internal glow. Beauty is in behavior. It is how you treat others. Beauty is grace and respecting one another. Though it's important to see the beauty within you, you must also see the beauty in others and see things from their point of view. As women in this world, we must know that we are a team to cheer for one another and to support their dreams. It is time to stop wondering and time to begin knowing that you are courageous and strong and your spirit is glowing. There will be rivers to cross and mountains to climb, but a stronger you is on the other side. So follow your soul, my dear. It knows the way. And don't let your dreams slip away.
As the virtual offering bowls are passed among us, your gifts are accepted with gratitude. During the service, you can donate to the church using the Square website. The link is in the chat box. The total given each Sunday is divided equally between the church and our Change for Change recipient. For March and April, our Change for Change recipient is the Good Samaritan program at Lafayette Urban Ministries. This program assists local residents needing financial assistance for rent, utilities, and prescription medications. Recently, there's been an increase in requests for support from individuals who have been impacted by COVID-19. Outside of the services, pledge donations can be made on our homepage. Click on the Give button in the upper right corner of the page. Donations may be designated to go to your annual pledge or to the general offering. And of course, you may always mail checks to the church. Thank you for sharing your time, your talents, and your treasures with this congregation.
Well, it's this time again that we normally would have once a month at the beginning of the service, a time when we would share our joys and concerns. So I invite you now into that time where we do because of the magic of Zoom and our chat box, we are able to share with one another what is going on in our lives, what is troubling us, what is bringing us joy, what we need help with, what we need help celebrating. So I invite you to just take a couple of breaths and clear your mind and enter into this sacred time where we as a community show up for one another. We allow ourselves to be vulnerable, to build resilience by being vulnerable, and to rejoice with one another. Let's just take another deep breath. And I'm going to light a few candles, and these candles are for the things that are bringing you joy this morning, things that you are celebrating, things that you are so glad about. And I'm going to light the first one because I'm excited about this spring weather that we're having, spring-like weather that we're having. It's lovely. I've been able to get out for walks. And now I invite you to put things in the chat that you are celebrating. And I will light some candles and hopefully they will cooperate with me. There's 3 candles lit for our joys this morning. I know there's many more. And please respond in the chat to all the wonderful things people are putting down, all of their joys, celebrating with you. And moving into things that may be of concern, that are worrying, I will light a candle for some of the things going on in my own life that are a bit of a worry. What are some of the things in your life that are worrying you? I invite you to put them down into the chat, and I can see the light going in and out, and that is the sun coming in and out of the clouds, playing with the sun this morning. Please offer your support and your prayers to those people that are putting things into the chat that are of concern to them. And I will light a few more candles. Of our beautiful candelabra. And I know that you are looking forward to the day when you can be doing this yourself, when we will be together in person again. It's about all the candles that are willing to be lit this morning. I will need to change them all out before next time. Let us just take a few moments and continue writing in the chat, continue telling one another about our joys, our concerns, our loves, our needs. We're allowed to ask for prayer for ourselves, of course. Please respond in love and kindness. I can feel the warmth, and I can hope that you too can feel this warmth of community that we are so engaged in. Blessed be, and amen. And now I invite you to continue on in this spirit of meditation for a few moments more of silence, of caring for one another. Let us hold some silence together. I invite you to pay attention to your breath, to stop reading the chat, to stop putting things into the chat for a moment, to focus on your breath, to feel rooted and grounded in community, in caring, and in love. Thank you. Please feel free to continue putting things into the chat now. And we will continue on in a spirit of meditation with a musical meditation led by Hilary Noel, hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. This song is number 123 in our charcoal hymnal titled Spirit of Life. Please join us in singing.
The reading this morning is selections from the Tao Te Ching, and I'm using a translation by Stephen Mitchell. Being and not being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend upon each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and the master lets them come. Things disappear and the master lets them go. They have but don't possess. Acts but doesn't expect. When their work is done, it is forgotten. That is why it lasts forever. The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden but always present. I don't know who gave birth to it. It's older than creation. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty, yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. We join spokes together in a wheel, but it is the center hole that makes the wagon move. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable. We work with being, but non-being is what we use. Knowing ourselves is intelligence. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. The Tao never does anything, yet through it, all things are done. So a few weeks ago, I saw a reference to something called spiritual discernment. I was curious, so I clicked on the link, and it took me to a video of a woman who offers spiritual discernment. She's somewhat of a companion, I would suppose, in the discernment process. The video I watched was of her speaking at a conference. She was explaining spiritual discernment. As she talked, I realized that what she was talking about was basically making decisions. Important decisions, though. Decisions requiring us to use our whole self, not just our heads. She asked questions like, how does the possibility of this make you feel? Or think about different aspects and take note of what happens in your body as you consider all the implications. In other words, she is saying that we make our best decisions when we stop and pay attention to what is happening to us inside ourselves. Our stomach, or our gut, as they say, contains neurons. Our heart, too, is full of neurons. These neurons do not translate into conscious thought, although I'm sure some folks would argue with me about that. But these neurons do inform us in a big way. One of the expressions I use when I'm making an important decision is this: I'm going to try it on for a while. So I'm going to pretend I've made the decision, and then I wear it like a cloak, loosely, and notice all the thoughts and feelings that come up. Then I pretend to decide in the other direction and, again, take note of my thoughts and feelings, especially the what-ifs and the things that might be hidden at first. I try on my decision for a time. My kids do it too, and they say it helps them. Spiritual discernment is something like that, I guess. Tuning into our innermost being, figuring out what we really want, because our brain will only tell us a very small amount of what we need to know. Have you ever heard of the Johari window? It is a tool developed by two men, Joe Luft and Harry Ingram. Joe Hari. Kind of funny. This tool is to help people better understand their relationship with themselves. So picture a window frame divided evenly into 4 panes, kind of like a childhood drawing. In the top left pane are all of the things I know about myself and that you too know about me. So things like, I'm Canadian, I'm fairly tall, I have 2 adult children and 1 grandson. Below that window are things I know about me and that you do not know about me. And, well, I'll just keep it that way. The top right-hand window are things that you, or perhaps my close friends and family, know about me, but these things are hidden from me. These things are my blind spots. And finally, the lower quadrant are things that no one knows about me. And these things are also hidden from me. The idea is that as we develop and evolve, we begin to learn more and more about ourselves. And the windows of knowing get bigger, while the windows of unknowing get smaller. So how does this development happen? If we look to the Tao for an answer, we would have to say that we need to look at the empty places, the places of being, not being, and doing, not doing. What do I mean by this? So having to stop and consider how we are being received, what our impact is, how what we're saying and doing landing with others. What's the effect we're having? We could ask for feedback and listen to the message at a deep level. And then asking ourselves how this feedback feels. In both of these examples, we're talking about feminine wisdom. The work is in tuning into ourselves and listening, paying attention, not forcing, waiting, exploring, churning. Now think about that clay pot. It's not the walls that are important, but what is being stirred inside of it. We as human beings are a mixture of open and closed, and what society traditionally considers masculine and feminine traits. Each and every one of us lands on a different place in the vast constellation that makes up humans. Our gender expression, who we're attracted to, along with thousands and thousands of other attributes. No 2 people are alike. There is no normal. Therefore, there is no person that expresses themselves in either or terms as far as masculine or feminine is concerned. Suzanne Kingsbury is quoted in an article in Bustle magazine written in 2017. She says, "The divine feminine is an energy that has been with us since ancient times." And I would argue with her and say that it's forever. It's just part of who we are. Consciousness is basically divided up into the masculine side and the feminine side, and we need both to achieve our highest creative potential. In other words, the divine feminine represents the connection to the part of your consciousness responsible for nurture, intuition, and empathy, regardless of your gender. According to Kingsbury, the divine feminine is the aspect of the self associated with creation, intuition, community, sensuality, and collaboration. The idea of the feminine divine is in many religions and represented in all cultures. It has been around since, well, like I said, forever. The Hebrew word for wisdom is Sophia. And in the Russian Orthodox faith, Sophia played a big part. At one time, it was believed that Hagia Sophia, or Holy Wisdom, should be part of the Holy Trinity. In Istanbul, the great Byzantine cathedral called Hagia Sophia was built in 537, Common Era. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And I look forward to talking more about the ideas around Hagia Sophia at another service this month. The subject of holy wisdom, the divine feminine, is vast, and we can only touch lightly upon a few key points. The important parts, in my opinion, are these. We are filled with this intuition, and through our upbringing, the pain and trauma of living out our lives in this sometimes cruel and often unrelenting world, we lose track of our inner wisdom. We begin to go through our lives thinking it is the doing that is important. It is the things we accumulate, and it is the getting ahead through competition that makes us successful. Well, I do not suggest we should not try to be our best or do our best. I am saying that being first or hurting others on our way up the ladder teaches us to silence our inner wisdom. We have to silence, otherwise we wouldn't be able to do the things that we sometimes do. It is only through intense self-evaluation, asking for feedback, loosening our grip, and tuning into ourselves can we tap into that beautiful and gentle feminine wisdom that is in all of us. Not only does feminine wisdom allow us to become our best selves and to act out of a gentle and sincere place in our being, it is also what connects us to the earth. From an article in Spirituality and Health written by Hilary Hart, what is feminine wisdom? What role does it play for all genders in this time of such significant global change? Feminine wisdom is mysterious and multidimensional. By its very nature, it is hidden in the depths of our being. This wisdom has to do with our awareness of interconnection and our experience of Earth's sacredness. The qualities born of this wisdom help us to nourish each other and nourish life. And they have as much to do with the source of love as with love itself. If these qualities are hidden, how do we see them? If they are so far from our conscious awareness, how can we live them? She suggests that the power, the knowing is in what is revealed in the Tao, in not being and not doing, sometimes just waiting, letting others, listening well, and admitting our own powerlessness in the grand scheme of things. Being open like a bellows brings new life, ignites the spark within. The clay pot is important, but it is what we use it for that brings nourishment. And sometimes, like the dough, we are rising, we have to wait for it, for to rush it will render it tasteless. When we are deeply connected to the earth, to ourselves, and to others, we are then within this web of healing and understanding. First, the understanding is about ourselves, being brutally honest with ourselves, trying to find out what is hidden. and to use our wisdom to enrich the lives of those around us. So let us practice being the vessel that brings life. Remember, we are all part of an interconnected web that sustains life. And let us remember that wisdom, feminine wisdom, divine wisdom, whatever you want to call it, is at the center of all living beings. So may it be. And amen. And in the spirit of being interconnected with all living things, let us sing together our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home, number 1064. If we were in the sanctuary, I would say it's in our teal hymn book, but the words will be in the chat, and I invite you to sing along with Hilary Noel.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in a beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
We extinguish our chalice this morning with these words by Hildegard von Bingen, adapted by Reverend Rosemary. Glance at the sun, see the moon and the stars, gaze at the beauty of Earth's greening, and now think what delight is given to humankind with all these things. These are wonderful, shining gifts. And as our chalice is extinguished, let us remember to revel in these precious gifts and keep the warmth of this flame close to our hearts. Before Reverend Rosemary shares this morning's benediction, I would like to remind you that we will have coffee and fellowship about 5 minutes after the service ends. Please stay online at this same URL and join our welcome coffee hour for fellowship, conversation, and to give a special welcome to those who are visiting with us this morning. Hope to see you there.
I would like to take a moment at the end of the service to thank everyone that has been involved in the production of and the music, the words, everyone that had anything to do with the service. And I would especially like to thank you for being here, for viewing, to being part of this wonderful congregation, this wonderful community, this beloved community. And now I offer you words of benediction. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended, but not with time, as they say, with intention. So go and love intentionally, love extravagantly, love unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light, for the love, for the beauty that is in you. Amen. Go in peace, gentle people. Go in peace.